This week's Torah reading, Parshat Emor, to a large extent discusses the special laws that apply to the Kohanim, otherwise known as the priests, who alone were permitted to perform the sacrificial service in the Beit HaMikdash, in the Holy Temple. And one of them was selected to be the Kohen Gadol, the chief Kohen, and he was on a higher level of holiness. All of the Kohanim had additional holiness, more than the average Jew, and he was bound by special commandments, such as he was not permitted to contaminate himself, so to speak, by coming in contact with a corpse. And there were other laws that applied to them. The Kohen Gadol, the chief Kohen, was the one who performed the sacrificial service on the Day of Atonement, which provided atonement for all of the Jewish people. And he alone was permitted to enter the Holy of Holies on that day, to offer the incense. And it's a very interesting thing. There's something we can learn about the blessing. There's the blessing that the Kohanim, when they go up to bless, one of their functions is to bless the Jewish people by reciting 3 verses from the Torah, pertaining to that God should guard and protect and bless the Jewish people with peace. And only the Kohanim were the ones that permitted to utter those blessings. And we should remember that the Kohanim are not the ones who are giving the blessings. They're supposed to recite the verses to place God's name on the Jewish people, and God says, Va'ani avarchem, I will bless them. All blessings in this world come from the Creator. No human being has the power to alter the course of nature. Now, the blessing that the Kohanim recite is very interesting. They said, Blessed be thou, God, Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us with the holiness of Aaron and commanded us to bless his people Israel with love. Now, this is a bit of a deviation from whenever we do a blessing, a mitzvah rather, we have to recite a blessing beforehand. But the form is, who sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to do, eat the matzah, dwell in the sukkah, whatever the mitzvah happens to be. But here it differs, and it says, who sanctified us with the sanctity or the holiness of Aaron. Now the question arises, what's the holiness of Aaron? Why don't we say, who sanctified us with his commandments? So there's something very, very important over here. It seems to me that the Kohanim who come after Aaron do not have any independent Kedusha or holiness, but rather they stand in the place of Aaron. The Kedusha of the Kohen is the Kedusha of Aaron. And because of his uniqueness, he merited to have this holiness, and his descendants after him only are there to represent that special holiness. What is the holiness of Aaron, which rendered him fit to bless the children of Israel and to perform the service in the temple? It seems to me that, as we learn in Pirkei Avos, that Aaron loved peace and pursued peace. He played a special role. In fact, he was more beloved to the Jews than even Moshe. Why? Because he was involved with all of the people in the sense of being there to remove animosity, to solve disputes, and to establish peace between one Jew and his fellow Jew, or between husband and wife. He would get involved in the problems, and he would sacrifice his own honor. He would sacrifice his own ego for the sake of establishing peace amongst the children of Israel. And that's the role of the Kohen, and that's the role of the blessings. And that's why I think it says, commanded us to bless his nation Israel with love. Not just to recite the blessings, just to recite the verses, but it has to be a manifestation of that unique love for the Jewish people. And I think that the love of Aaron for the Jewish people is special, is unique. We are commanded to love. Each person has to love his fellow Jew as himself. And that's not easy to achieve. But I think it's a different kind of love. It's not the love, I happen to like this person, I happen to like that person. You can't force yourself to love every person. But this is a different kind of love. The love that God has. We say that in the evening service. Ohev Amo Yisrael. God loves his nation Israel. And that idea is expressed in the Torah. That's not an emotional kind of love. It's a recognition of the unique position of the Jews, that they were selected by God to receive his Torah and to sanctify his name in the world so that all of mankind will recognize the Creator. That's the mission of the Jewish people. Now, we may not be achieving it 100%. It varies from time to time, but that makes every Jew special, whether he knows it or not. You're part of a unique group of people that were chosen by God. God only chose the Jews, never chose any other people. And this is an eternal thing. God will never remove that holiness from the Jewish people. We have to strive, and sometimes we're punished. We have to strive throughout our history to reach the level where we sanctify the name of God in the world. That was the love of Aaron. He loved every Jew because he loved the Jews as the chosen people. He was committed to that concept. And because of that, he had that special holiness, which enabled him to function so well amongst the Jews and bring peace between every man and his fellow Jew.